Welcome back to your latest aviation news recap. In today's proceedings, we get our first look at a new aircraft at an airline. Porter Airlines are expanding their network, and there's some pretty big developments around Aer Lingus. That's where I'd like to begin, with the company announcing it'll move to Terminal 6 at New York JFK from early 2026. The airline says it'll call the USD $4.2 billion terminal home as part of a shift from its routine New York JFK operation that it has gotten used to. Moreover, there will be a new signature lounge that will be opened inside Terminal 6 to offer customers greater comfort and generally a more premium experience. As customers prepare for the new terminal, which is slated to open in early 2026, more airlines are expected to announce their shifts, so definitely stay tuned for that. Currently, Aer Lingus can be found at Terminal 7 in New York JFK, where it operates several flights using its aircraft. The airline flies to Dublin, Shannon, and Manchester using a mixture of Airbus narrow and wide-body jets from the A330 to the ever-popular A321neo family. By moving to the currently under-construction terminal, airline guests can immerse themselves in a state-of-the-art experience as it is being described. Aer Lingus says there'll also be a new dedicated check-in space with self-service bag drop options. The hope is to really offer the most seamless travel experience possible. Aer Lingus will also be in the same terminal as JetBlue. This is very important as JetBlue acts as an important connecting partner. Basically, JetBlue will be crucial moving ahead for facilitating onward travel to markets across the United States, but this could also extend further. By them being in the same terminal, it certainly eases the ability of transferring to another connecting flight after you've arrived from, say, Ireland or other ports in Europe. Since moving to Terminal 7, which actually only occurred in 2023, New York JFK says it's very excited about the prospect of strengthening its relationship with the company. Establishing the new lounge should really build on brand loyalty while hoping to also enhance your customer experience levels. It's over to you. I'd love to hear what you feel about this move towards Terminal 6 and maybe focusing in on that lounge. Is there anything you'd like to specifically see? Terminal 6, though, is part of a broader plan that has been unveiled by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. It involves, though, a broader, also $19 billion redevelopment to JFK. If this is considered your home airport or you've flown through it, normally I would say having the pleasure of flying through it. I'm not sure how much of a pleasure it is at the moment. It is under significant reconstruction and can be quite messy to travel through. The 6th terminal, therefore, is just one of the many ongoing projects to try and elevate the airport's experience and obviously to have those technologies align with more other airports around the world and have it be a true leader. Work on the 6th terminal is expected to be completed in 2 phases, with the first 5 gates slated to open in early 2026. The construction, though, generally should be done by 2028, with a 100,000 square foot terminal to include all your latest amenities. We got our first look at a new aircraft with a existing airline. Malaysia Airlines has provided us with an update on its Airbus A330 Neo as the carrier gears up for the modern wide-body's eventual entry into service. The airline says that the final assembly has just begun in Toulouse, France, the home of Airbus, where the aircraft can come together for eventual delivery. Important next steps, though, will occur, such as installing the cockpit, engines, landing gear, electrical wiring, avionics, and fuel and hydraulic systems. These installations can only occur thanks to the main fuselage sections, such as the wings and tail, being attached. When all these critical steps have been taken, and successfully, the airline will be able to move towards the next important step in the delivery process, which includes thorough ground checks. Once the relevant ground checks are completed, Malaysia Airlines says that the plane will head to the cabin installation zone, where the company's product will be installed. Lastly, then, preparations will continue for the first flight, and once the plane is deemed ready, it'll get in the air and then eventually be delivered to Malaysia, where once familiarization has occurred, the aircraft will be deployed across the network. In March of 2024, the airline actually introduced its Airbus A330 Neo seats, which included business class and economy. The cabin product, we know, needs to be modern and is at least what the airline describes as something that'll feature many firsts for them as an airline. Malaysia will introduce wireless charging pods and individual privacy doors. Now, this will be present on all 28 business class seats. Meanwhile, the airline will become the, what they say, leading carrier to feature elevation seats. If we're moving towards economy, the seats will have an ergonomic design with significant layers of support. Meanwhile, they've also carefully implemented amenities such as coat hooks, cup holders, and more for added storage. The A330 Neo at Malaysia Airlines will be configured to seat 297 passengers, which will include 28 in business class and 269 in economy. Malaysia says that 24 of those in economy will have additional legroom. Malaysia Airlines concluded by saying that it will provide further updates on the schedule for this aircraft type later this year. But we know that the A330 Neo will first be deployed to Melbourne, Australia, which is actually my home and where I live, from this November. If schedules don't slip, 3 A330 Neos should be delivered in 2024. This would represent 3 of a total of 20, and no shock here, but the A330 Neo is considered to be the replacement for the A330ceo. On to the last story, and Porter Airlines, who have been a heavy feature on the channel this year, have announced plans to begin daily round-trip flights between Toronto Pearson and Phoenix Sky Harbor. So as a result, the carrier will link Toronto to Arizona for the first time with its operations and the utilization of the E195-E2, which has certainly reshaped how the airline serves markets successfully. Take a look at the last 12 months and the implementation of this Embraer jet and the drastic changes we've seen unfold. The E195-E2 operates without a middle seat and is thus a preferred means of traveling across North America. Porter says it offers customers fast and free Wi-Fi, wine and beer, among other premium snacks. Moreover, a debut in Phoenix is another extension to the company's flying west, with cities such as Los Angeles and San Francisco being added in 2024 already. When considering what Phoenix offers, well, Porter Airlines describes it as a great location for Canadians to see the great outdoors, with a pretty lively food and art scene. And for those coming from Arizona, well, Porter just highlights the endless features of Toronto that make it a standout not just in Canada, but as a global destination. It is very important to also note that while this service will originate in Toronto and head to Phoenix, Porter Airlines says that there will be greater connectivity options across Canada to basically fly in from their existing cities to Toronto to then jump on that flight to Arizona. That is indeed going to conclude today's aviation news recap. If you have any thoughts on the topics covered in today's proceedings, you know the best place to leave them is down below in the comments. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. It is certainly appreciated. Please take care, do also be safe, and I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow for what will be another aviation news recap.
And we'll fly.